and welcome to an evening celebrating, marking, or commemorating the 40th anniversary of what has been said to be the greatest hostage rescue mission in history. Today, any list that compiles counterterrorism rescue missions puts Operation Thunderbelt right up on the list, if not number one, at least in the top 10. I was born after 1976, yet I remember my mother, Nancy, don't be surprised, it's okay. Yet I remember my Israeli mother, her brothers, sisters, my cousins, all mentioning Operation Thunderbelt, also known as Operation Entebbe, as an event of great pride. Great pride in the resilience of the people, and great pride in the fact that there is a godly hand following our nation. This small group of people, we will hear from one of them tonight, and we're privileged to have him, have pulled off the impossible. And as every great story, this story has been translated into films. In fact, 3 films came out right after this operation. Raid on Entebbe, there's Victory at Entebbe, and then there's Operation Thunderbelt, or Mivtza Yonatan. Thunderbolt. I'll keep the Operation Entebbe. This film, the last film that was created by Menachem Golan, it was called Mivtza Yonatan, or Operation Thunderbolt. On the poster of the film, on the cover, you have the sky above and this arm stretched down. In the palm of this arm is a group of people cheering victory. And right near you have IDF, Israeli Defense Force, Air Force planes flying. And I think this poster encapsulates this event. It could not have been pulled off without the bravery and courage of the people involved in this mission, and yet it could not have happened without the help of the Almighty God. And the fact that this event is being held on the night of Tu B'Shvat, the 15th of Shvat, which is considered the Rosh Hashanah, the holiday, the beginning for the trees. The tree depends very much on its own stature, on survival, but also depends on what comes from above, the sun and the clouds and the rain. So to begin tonight's event, I'd like to call Rabbi Yossi Shem Tov, Executive Director of Chabad Tucson, to begin our evening with a prayer and with a few words of Torah. Right in front of you, you have papers with chapter 20 of Psalms.
Okay. This prayer will pray. This is for as successful as that event was in 1976, Tashon Lamizvav. We all know that we still, as Yisrael, our brothers and sisters in Israel, still need our prayers. And what better way to start off such an event with praying to God and thinking about them. So I'll say it in the Lashon Kodesh side first, and those that can follow along, follow along. If not, God understands English also. Lam not say up Mizmah Ledov, Yam Chavin Egin Sara, Yisaget Hashem Elei Yake, Yishlach Ezer from the Kedesh, Yitzian, Yisadek, Yiske, Hom Kasecha, Ve'lasach, Yidash Nisela, Yitel Chachim Valecha, V'chalatzas, V'chemala, Yineran, V'chalatzas, ובשם אלוהינו נשתו ימלא אדוני כל משאל יסך ידעת ידעתי כי ישי אדוני משיחה יעננו משמי קודשי גבוריס ישע דמיני אלה ברכה ואלה בסוסים ואנחנו בשם אדוני אלוהינו נזכר אימה קרוב ונפלו ואנחנו קמנו לניסדות אדוני שם אלוהינו וים קרדנו. I would like to open up my words with welcome to Sassi Reuben. And I want to talk to you directly, and I hope you don't mind, everyone listening. Not like my son-in-law, who wasn't even born then. I was 19 years old at that point. And I was coming of age, as they say. And when this event happened, the joy that we all had, the Geon Yaakov, that we were so proud, the Ga'ava, in a way, the haughtiness, the haughtiness that came from Kedusha, from holiness, that we, the Jewish nation, had at that time was unbelievable. It was not only an event that an Israeli was proud of, but anyone who was a Jewish person, no matter where they were, you made us proud. But I want to tell you, and after that, the Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory was on a campaign, which this campaign was not an easy campaign, and you wouldn't believe it. Do you know, Sassi, that if you go back to Uganda and you go to that airport, you have to make a bracha. The bracha that you have to make is Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Ha'olam She'asa li nes b'makom hazeh. That you have made a miracle to me on this place. And now let me tell you, when your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren, and on and on and on, when they go to Uganda, they go to that airport, they're going to have to say, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Ha'olam. Blessed are you, God, our God, who has made a nest for our Father in this place. Forever you have established that this is a place for your family. Not me. My father wasn't there. And my children not. But your family have now a corner in this world where they have to make a bracha that they made a nest, that God has made a miracle in that place. And you would think, what a wonderful concept. The Lubavitcher Rebbe just figured this out. I mean, not figured it out. He's telling the world that this is not only a celebration for them, and not only a celebration for the time afterwards, or for the record books of which event is from the top events. This became now a halacha event for your family and all the families that were there. All their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren have to make this wonderful blessing. So there was a group of people, and they decided, nah, God doesn't make miracles happen with Jewish people who are not religious. And it started. And I'm not going to speak negative, I don't want to, because this is also an event of Hakev. This is an event where Jewish people come together on Nashim B'Tav. This is the year after the Shemitah year, the holy year in Israel where it's a Shemitah. It says that everybody should gather together, men, women, and children. And we did tefillah. I just now said at Bar Torah, this is a halacha that we have, that you are supposed to make a bracha. And we should always know that this is something which is so wonderful, a divine providence. Can you imagine the Israelis who in the 1940s and early, whenever they did, a few Israelis went to the middle of Africa and they were building an airport. They must have said, what are we doing in this forsaken place, building an airport? But little did they know that this was, that we suddenly, I'm sure he'll tell you about it, how we pulled the plans and we knew exactly how it looked. This is divine providence, hashgacha pratis, that God has done. So we have, this is a schut, this is such a merit for us to be together with you. When me and you go together to Uganda, I'm not planning to do that. but if you do, and you go together, I will stand there while you say, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Ha'olam, She'asa li nes b'makom hazeh, I will answer, Amen. And for generations and generations. Thank you very much all for your attention.
Tonight's evening is co-sponsored by Chabad Tucson and the Weintraub Israel Center. Representing them tonight is Oshrat Barel and Roni Ben-Dov, who is also the co-chair of the annual Israel Day Festival.
Good evening, everyone, and once again, thank you all for coming out. We at the Weintraub Israel Center, spearheaded once again by Oshrat Barel, would not be able to connect to the community without the help of our lovely host this evening, Community Young Israel. So thank you very much for having us here. Very briefly, I'd like to mention a few of the events that are coming on the table. There's an event this Thursday. It's sponsored by the Rosen Lecture. It's Israel Beyond the Headlines, Reality versus Myth. It is at the JCC and it is free of charge, so we'd love to see you guys if you need more information, as mentioned on the table. As you know, upcoming, there's Israel's Independence Day coming again. We have made it into a whole week of celebrations. There are going to be a lot of different events, but highlighted this year is we're bringing 4 chefs from our partnership area in Israel, and they're going to be obviously, as chefs, cook for us, and it's going to be a wonderful week. More to come. Please keep an eye out for the emails. We'd love to have you participate. And Monday, May 9th, we have Yom HaZikaron at the JCC. The Israeli chefs, we're going to highlight them Thursday, May 12th, and then Sunday, May 15th will be the Israel Independence Day celebration at the J. I have the honor of introducing a wonderful woman from our community, but truly, if you've lived in Tucson for the last 20 years or so, she really needs not an introduction. Marlene Friedman has had her hand in our community from being the JCRC director to her last post as the premier vice president of the Federation. We brought you out here tonight out of your retirement for a one-night cameo appearance. She has a very special and dear content to this event tonight. So please, without further ado.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here. So my story about Entebbe was in 1976, July 1976, had a huge impact on me and my family. We were in Israel on our family trip in memory of my father. He died in December, and he was born in Jerusalem under Turkish control. So we all took a trip except my sons. They were too small. So we had a wonderful trip, and on Sunday, June 28th, we all went our different ways. My older brother Marvin and his friend went back to Santa Monica. Myself, my husband at the time, my mother and my mother-in-law went on a Greek cruise. My younger brother was on his way to Paris to study for his PhD at Harvard. So we all went, we scattered. We heard about a hijack. We did not know, but we figured it out. My brother's plane went to Athens, and that's where the hijackers came. And they took off. So let me go forward. I did not know this during the time until I talked to my brother afterwards. On the plane, they took all the people and moved them forward. So my brother sat next to the explosives. It was really scary. They stopped to get fuel. And the country, I forgot what country. Libya, when they were saying we won't give it to you. And they said, the hijackers, oh, you better, or we'll blow up the plane. Well, they got it, and they went to Entebbe, and they debarked, and they went to the airline, the old airline terminal. So, I shake, so I'm getting the chair. So, my brother was there with his wife and his son. This was on Monday, July 29th. And it was scary. They did not know what was going on. The hijackers were demanding that Israel let the prisoners go. That was their major demand, okay? They divided the Israelis to one side and all the other people to the others. The explosives divided the two areas. So on Tuesday, July 30th, my sister-in-law, who was not Jewish, and my nephew were released with all the non-Jewish people. So they went to Paris. She was debriefed a long time. She spoke German, so she understood a lot of the conversation. So I think in some ways, I feel strongly, my sister-in-law did help in the way, in her knowledge, her little bit of knowledge when they crushed her. And my brother was there by himself. He made friends with an Israeli couple, Claude and Emma, and they used to write notes and hide them in the toilet to trade information. On Friday, they were releasing all the people except the Israelis, okay? And my brother was one of the last people to go on the plane. They searched him. They were looking for a microgun to just talk to him. Think about it. Who thinks about a microgun in this day and age? But back then, they were looking for a microgun for information. But he was released and was, he was released and was let go on Friday. And the raid came on Saturday, July 4th. It was a terrible experience. I think it changed my life. I know it changed my life. It made me more aware of my surroundings. I was an executive director of a synagogue, made me much more aware of security, but not to make it a jail, but to make it free. And it made me realize that Israel could not give up those prisoners, because if they did, it would be suicide for Israel. There would be one and another and another. And I really felt my brother had to die. He had to die because Israel had to live. I really believe that. It's still true. So I had a lot of little stories about myself and family on the boat, hiding information from my mother. We never told her, but it was an ordeal for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that story. I know it was really difficult for you.
Thank you.
I know, but it meant for everyone to give us background on this story. And Carly, let me introduce you and introduce the entire crowd to our guest speaker tonight, Sasi Reuben, IDF Special Forces from New York.
Rabbi Shem Tov, can you come here, please?
Yeah.
Good evening, Rabbi Shem Tov. Thank you for inviting me. Rabbi Seitling, I just want to tell you, my voice is shaking a little bit. I go from Chabad to Chabad all over the world. And every time I get to a certain high about the way they present me, the way they talk to me, But what you did today, I don't know if anybody will be able to reach it. Thank you.
I'll tell you what happened. So far, you went to Chabad houses where the rabbis there weren't born.
Right.
When you get to the Chabad houses where the people are around my age, they'll tell you the same thing.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. Oshrat and Ronnie, thank you very much. I just want to tell you, I usually start with a joke, so it won't be different today. This Jewish guy, Yankel, finished college and he went all over the world. He came back. He enjoyed very, very much. His mother, Jewish mother, of course, call Uncle call Uncle this, call Auntie this, call Grandma. Grandma moved to a new place. You know, she moved to there and there. He said, okay. So he called his grandma. Said, Grandma, how are you? Oh, Uncle, you're home. Very good. When are you coming to visit me? You know, I moved to a new place. He said, yes, Grandma, I know. Let me give you the address. He said, I have the address. Wait a minute. There are little tricks over here. When you go, you get into the building with the car, with your elbow on the keypad, with your elbow you press 221 pound. I said, okay, Grandma. And then you get to the building 52, there is a keypad outside, you press with your elbow 223 and the door will open. Go to the elevator with your elbow, press the button, the elevator will come. With your elbow, press number 4, you get to 402, and then you press the doorbell. I said, Grandma, everything is okay, but why with my elbow? She said, honey, are you coming empty-handed?